Democrats can't win a debate. That's why they hate free speech. We're going to go into their censorship and a whole lot more because they're anti-American, anti-human, anti-intellectualism of actual exchanging ideas. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Hope you'll let me make my case. We're going to start with, this is so comedic. And shout out to the Quad Club, the people who watch all 4 videos. It's actually in 3 uploads. I know it's as confusing as can be. We're the Quad Club, even though there's 3 videos going up. The middle one's 2 episodes. Oh, too many words. Okay, let's get to it. Here's MSNBC. As you know, they've been taken over now, but it's MSNOW or whatever it is. They have a new brand. They had a new internal memo on how they're going to run their organization to bring back ratings.
Here, Priya to you, Newsbusters writes the following. This is about MSNBC, MSNOW, because they have a new code of conduct. He says the funniest aspect of Monday's split from, MSNBC was the release of a new code of conduct dubbed 10 Core Principles. We're not going to read them all because 4 is plenty, by an executive with MSNBC's new parent company, Versant, that includes things like accuracy, fairness, and integrity. And they've also thrown...
I like how they admit that they're now going to start a brand new policy of accuracy, fairness, and integrity. MSNBC is going, you know what, guys? I got an idea. We've only been inaccurate, we've only been unfair, and we've only had 0 integrity. That's total disaster.
Transparency and a bunch of other things. This is MSNBC we're talking about, Priya. What do you think?
I find it absolutely hilarious. I don't know if this is an attempt at a rebrand or if they're trying to claim that this has been the case all along.
Oh, no, it's an attempt at comedy. We'll get right back to that MSNBC stuff. Medicare premiums are going up, and many Medicare Advantage plans are flat out disappearing. This affects you. I care about you guys. This is my way that Chapter's helping all of us, because you guys are getting a bunch of misleading robocalls. Frankly, some of them are spam. They could be criminals. You're getting texts and junk mail. Very confusing. It's overwhelming, but luckily, Chapter's here to help. Now, this is from you in my audience just yesterday. Doug, I have never heard anything negative about Chapter. Enough said. I agree. Here's another one from one of the quad heads. Doug, I used Chapter last spring. They helped me find a new insurance company 2 weeks ago. Chapter contacted me to set up an appointment to see if I'm good to go or need something different. I recommend Chapter. They called them back after last spring. What company does that to help you? That's why I'm loyal to Chapter. This is why I've partnered with them. You can trust them to review every plan nationwide, and they'll find you the best fit. On average, they've saved my seniors $1,100 a year. The best part is it's totally free. For free, non-scammy Medicare help. Call my friends at Chapter and use our phone number, 631-961-8696. That's 631-961-8696. Call Chapter today. Okay, let's get back to MSNBC's rebranding of MSNOW.
However, we all know that has just not been true. I mean, there's been time after time after time where we've seen MSNBC be completely disingenuous in their rhetoric, and we were just talking about inflammatory rhetoric, mind you. They have been some of the champions of that. Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Are you saying MS Now should be like BS Now? I mean,
we'll go with BS Now. That works. Probably more accurate to their brand. Here's more on censorship of our pal. This is Sean Davis before Senator Eric Schmidt.
The CDC had approved words and phrases that social media companies could use. In this secret portal that was established between the government and these social media companies conveyed this. And if people utter this phrase, I mean, this is sort of like, this is prior restraint. So like, this is what you will take down ahead of time. CISA was very much involved in this. You have an alphabet soup of agencies most people have never heard of that were weaponized against millions of voices in this country. We talk about President Trump a lot, but there's just a lot of just people who were online who had questions about forced masking of kids or the vaccine mandate, all those sorts of things, and they were throttled or taken down. So given what you know about organizations like the Election Integrity Project, that's
the one that got us, the Election Integrity Project. If you question the ballots or the votes or anything like that, you got taken down. That happened to me through the Election Integrity Project. These are all Biden made up largest performance of government censorship against American citizens in not just American history, but probably world history because of how far these actual agencies went to stop people from asking questions about COVID. All done under Biden. Remember, they do not believe in free speech. They believe in government censorship because they cannot win a debate, is the key.
Another one. In collaboration with CISA and receive taxpayer funding. How are these NGOs still working currently to harm individuals from speaking their mind, particularly conservatives?
Yeah, it's a great question. The thing about these censorship tools and technologies and efforts is they're a little bit like injecting something into the body's bloodstream. They inject it in, it's in there, it's working its thing. And just because you pull the needle out doesn't mean the effects are gone. A lot of these organizations are still out there using technologies and tools that were deliberately funded and distributed by the federal government for the purpose of censoring people like me, people like Alex Berenson, people like my colleague Molly Hemingway. I don't know if we will ever actually be free of the effects of this censorship industrial complex that the previous administration created. I don't know if we will ever be free of the horrible effect that it created, the horrible dampening and abridgment of our speech that we were forced to endure secretly for years, and the extent of which we still don't fully know.
Yeah, they're still there. They're still there doing their job, paid for by the government because those agencies have not been shut down. Their censorship work has not been stopped. So that's what's weird is it's very easy to open up censorship. It's very hard to make it go away once it's going. Now, this is on the polling about X from CNN, which is bad news for CNN and very good news for those of us who are for free speech.
Over. And oh my goodness gracious, what a tremendous, monumental shift on the regular news consumers on Twitter/X. You go back to 2021, the party ID margin. Democrats were 37 points more likely. You were 37 points more likely to be a Democrat on Twitter or X than a Republican. Jump ahead to this side of the screen. It's completely changed around. Oh, my goodness gracious. Now it's a 14-point lead for Republicans on Twitter/X. We're talking about a 51-point shift in the margin. And John and I were talking about it just before. You can see it with your own eyes. This is polling reflecting what you're seeing in the social media real world, where all of a sudden, John, you just see a lot more Republicans in your...
You see more Republicans because now we're not being hidden by Democrats. What they don't understand is this is a huge self-own against Democrats. Why was it in 2021 that you only saw 37 points worth more of Democrats on Twitter? Because that was under Jack Dorsey and the FBI that shadow banned a ton of us. We flat out went invisible. I'm still almost invisible on Twitter. There's still some code there stopping my channel from being seen, even under Elon Musk. It's not easy to go back in and remove that code, which Sean Davis was saying. The long-term effects continue long after it's ended. Lo and behold, Elon Musk buys Twitter, and free speech is always a better brand. You've heard me warn Twitter and Facebook and YouTube how you do not want your brand to be destroy Republicans and conservatives and Christian voices, destroy dissent, win arguments through censorship. It's a terrible brand. It's bad for business. No one wants to be on your platform and everyone's terrified if you're super hardcore. That's why I'm so happy YouTube gave me my channel back and and that was all because Elon Musk bought Twitter.
I like the word social media real world there.
It's real to me, gosh darn it.
Okay, so again, this is a huge shift. You just don't see shifts like this in general. But what about the idea that there are other social media places that Democrats can go and maybe that they're going there instead and that's making up for it all?
Yeah, you know, there are a lot of folks that I know who are on the left side of the aisle who ran over to Blue Sky or ran over to Threads.
Hold on. Now, I'm going to tell you what Blue Sky is in a minute. That 14 points ahead by the GOP. This is the Fox News effect, by the way. Fox News was only the #1 news channel that Republicans watched because every other channel on cable was woke. You had CNN, you had MSNBC, you had the BBC, you had PBS. They were all woke. The only place that you could get right-leaning news was from Fox News. So, of course, half of the audience goes to that one channel. The other channels all have to distribute their communist, Marxist, atheistic audience, pro-rainbow, anti-life audience, have to split among every other channel. which is like 20 of them. So lo and behold, Twitter, which is known by Republicans as it's the least censorious, the most free speech platform right now in the world, is X. And so they get a 14-point advantage. Of course, Republicans are going to go there. It's the only one. Now we're going to look at Blue Sky. What's Blue Sky? Blue Sky is the platform that Jack Dorsey started after he sold X to Elon Musk. He was, I'm going to go open up a platform that's going to censor conservatives and stop disinformation. And so only lefties went over. And Blue Sky, if you've ever been on it, it's psycho. It's leftist psychos.
But here's the deal, Johnny O. The bottom line is those are minuscule compared to Twitter or X. Use this social media in 2025. 21% of Americans are on Twitter or X. Threads, it's just 8%. Blue Sky, even smaller, just 4%.
Threads is the Meta Facebook social media site.
You add together the 4 plus the 8, that gets you to 12%. That is only about half the level that are on Twitter/X. So as Twitter/X has gone to the right, yes, there are people, as Johnny moves away from me, from the left, who have come over and started to use either Threads or Blue Sky, but that does not have the megaphone, as my voice is oftentimes, that Twitter/X does. So the bottom line, that Twitter/X has become much more further right, has been a real difference maker in terms of what folks are hearing when they go.
And it's wrong to imply that X went to the right from the top. It was not a top-down censor decision. It's free speech. Twitter moved to the right naturally. When you remove censorship, conservatives and Christians can speak. Republicans can speak without losing their Twitter handle, without losing their reach. So it naturally, all you have to do is remove those barriers. Those barriers are still there at Threads with 8% and Blue Sky with only 4% of the people using it, because even the left doesn't like censorship. It's better to be on an open platform like this one. Now, let's get to the arrests of the Biden administration. I found this tweet very interesting. Because my lefty friends believe that Trump is out getting them, here's how many people were arrested under Biden's administration. These are Republicans arrested by Biden. Donald Trump, Walt Nauta, he had his driver, his head of the Carlos de Oliveira, remember these names, Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, Thomas Barack Jr., Matthew Grimes, Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, John Eastman, Kenneth Chesborough, Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, Scott Graham Hall, Sean Still, David James Schaefer, Kathleen Latham. I'm going to go down this a little quicker. Harrison, William Prescott Floyd, who we had on this show last year, Stephen Lee, Ray Smith III, Michael Roman, who blew open the Fonnie Willis case, Misty Hampton, Kelly Ward, Tyler Boyer. Here's Jacob Hoffman. Let's see if I can go down here. I don't recognize a whole lot of these names, which just goes to show they went after normie Republicans too. Here's Clifford Frost, John Haggard. Keep going down here, see if I recognize any of these people. Oh, Tina Peters, and Steve Bannon, George Papadopoulos, plus 1,265 J6 defendants were arrested. Oh, and don't forget, Roger Stone was also arrested. Here's the list of all the Democrats arrested under the draconian totalitarian Trump administration. Zero. And yes, we need us some scalps. We need to arrest Merrick Garland. We need to arrest Jack Smith, James Comey. We'll get them all. I want them all. I want Mayorkas especially too. Here's more on that chilling effect. I don't know if I'm going to be able to legally show this clip, but this is from the Big Brother show, which is actually more like real life Big Brother. This lady contestant was misgendered a trans, that is a biological male presenting as a female, and she called them a him or the wrong gender. Listen to how Big Brother just berates them.
Before you entered the Big Brother house, the rules regarding unacceptable language and behavior were explained to you.
I know.
I like how this voice is only pretending to be Big Brother, but look at all the eyeballs around the circle. Look at her pinned in the middle of this thing under her interrogation.
Yesterday at 11:21 p.m. during a game of Spin the Bottle.
We have the exact time you are playing an innocent game of Spin the Bottle.
You had the line, you said to Nancy, if you could shag anyone in the house,
Okay, look at her shame. Look at her shame. Total shame. They keep cutting the camera, and I'm going to skip ahead here because she finally puts her face out that she's like, how do you plea?
Oh, God.
Crying.
Caroline, Big Brother thinks that your language in these instances was offensive and unacceptable.
Offensive and unacceptable. They give her a formal warning. This is just like real life under the Democrat Party. This is a game show called Big Brother. But this is like real life if you're a Republican or a Christian living under the Biden regime. Now, more woke madness. This one's great. Now, Amazon is a leftist company. Jeff Bezos. And here are this is Amazon headquarters in Seattle, Washington, employees in a group calling themselves Amazon Worker Intifada staged a protest on the 7th shouting, "There's only one solution, Intifada revolution." This is employee violence getting together in Washington, the state, against Amazon. Look at that mob with their Palestinian flags. Now, how long do you think it's going to be before Amazon moves to a red state, so they don't have to put up with their own employees trying to censor their own company? Wait, there's more. Wait, now how much would you pay? Here's Unusual Whales breaking the IRS to furlough 46% of their staff. How many in my Doug in Exile audience, how many of you are upset that 46% of the IRS got furloughed? I'm going to give you another great number here. I asked Grok, what percentage of the IRS gave money to the Democrat Party? Overall historical trends from 1989 to 2012, 67% of their donations went to Democrats. This is going to show you how there's a great uptick in politicization in America. 2013, it went to Democrats by a 2-to-1 ratio. More than 75% traceable contributions went to Democrats. The 2016 election against Trump, among IRS workers who donated, 94% of contributions went to Hillary Clinton, a Democrat. Democrats to Republicans, 81% in 2024. Good. Furlough all of those Democrats. All it is another Democrat money laundering machine. Let's get it done. Now, this is a hilarious one. This is why Donald Trump is one of my favorite people in the whole world. This gal is making a confession to him at today's Donald Trump roundtable, where she said she used to have Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, but now she's been cured.
I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years. This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way, it's much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier, more successful. I even think I got a little more attractive after I got rid of my Trump derangement syndrome. Yes.
Do you hear that from Trump? Very attractive. I'm going to play it again because he cracks me up. She goes, I think I'm getting more attractive. He goes, very attractive.
My Trump derangement syndrome, yes.
Very attractive. Trump, you old dog. I'm so proud that he is my president. Everyone in the room is laughing and enjoying it. He even makes women prettier just by removing their evil, ugly Trump derangement syndrome. Hope to hear from you in the chat. How many of you have been cured from Trump derangement syndrome? I want to hear from my never Trumpers who are now on board the Trump train and are now far more beautiful people. Don't forget to call chapter. Don't forget to subscribe. I can't thank you guys enough for watching. To the quad heads, I'll see you in the live stream in the members only area. But in the meanwhile, I'm prepping the next 4 episodes tomorrow right here on Doug in Exile.